And what I would tell you right now is just live your life. Like, hey, look, I've been through it. I know what it is. I know the way. Follow me. So when you rock with me and this crew, I want to give you the tools to do the right shit and get across and go get it. I feel like this is what this group needs right now. And Eric, I want to instill some fucking swag. I want to instill some fucking motivation. I want to instill some beast mode, Jacob. And I just want fucking Monday with like some fucking flames. Bam. Okay, I want to get in two-way communication with you guys. I don't want to talk at you. I want to talk with you. I want to talk as a team, and I want to talk as a fucking Super Bowl champion operation that we are. Okay, so I'm just gonna come in. I'm gonna start dropping some flames real quick. Slow me down. Wave your hand. Wave at me. Whatever you guys got to do. Remember, let's get in two-way communication. Okay, so 21 ways, or excuse me, 21 things that successful people. Okay, 21 things that successful people do. Okay, who knows what that is? Who's seen that? Okay, a couple of guys. Okay, ooh, some of you guys see it. Okay. I'm going to deliver it right now real quick live. So most of you guys have seen it, but I'm going to talk about it again. And we're going to go through this 20 minutes or so, and then we're going to transition and talk about program, and then we're going to transition talk about your guys' individual needs. Okay, Alex, you haven't seen this. So,
hey, I got something for you real quick before we start.
Money.
Hey, everybody, let's wish Christopher a happy birthday. It was his birthday.
Oh, yeah, happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Let's go. 29 years old, baby. Let's go.
Hell yeah.
Hey, and Mike, before you start on some real talk, I want to give a shout out back to Alex. I've been struggling with some personal shit, some pretty deep personal shit. I reached out to him.
Yeah.
Kind of a good conversation. That dude is gold. I'm telling you, he's an amazing guy.
Yeah.
Thank you, Alex. I really appreciate it.
Bro.
Yeah.
For Alex.
Yeah. Give it to Chris.
Don't make it about me, though, Mr. Aquarian. Make it about you. You.
Doing the Chris deal. He gonna do the Chris deal. It's all good. Alex is really one of the kindest people I've ever met, hands down. He's a big fucking strong guy. He scares people in the gym, not on purpose, but when he lifts weights, he just makes a lot of noise. And he's just unreal. And he's just he's like a big, nice person. He's like a kind version of me, is what he is.
Thanks,
so,
Mike.
He's
Appreciate that.
Okay.
Mike, you said something the other day. It made sense. You're like, we're different. We're brains and brawn.
Brains meets bronze is what I said.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So let's rock and roll with it. Alex, I felt this morning, I just wanted to come in and I wanted to inject some napalm. And
no, I think it's great. I think it's great. You know,
right. So we're gonna.
Everybody needs. It's all mindset today. It's all mindset.
Yeah. Let's just rock and roll with it. Okay. So here it is again, and I'm gonna give it to you guys live. Okay. So again, I can't see everybody, so talk with me. Let's get in communication, guys, this morning. All right. 21 things that successful people do. What do successful people do? Okay. So when you get it live, you're gonna get it a little bit different. Okay. Don't even look at the list. Don't even think about what you've seen before. I'm gonna go to you, Alex, because you weren't out there. What separates winners from people that do not win? Successful people that are not successful. What is it, Alex Freeman?
I think it's three things. I think it's your mindset. I think it's your resilience.
Yep.
And I think it's your work ethic.
Okay, I agree with you 1,000,000%. Okay, let's go to the birthday boy, Chris Milhauser. What is it that makes people successful and those that are not successful?
They don't focus on their failure or let failure keep them where they are. They focus on, their goal, and don't let anything deter them, and they don't make excuses.
1,000,000%. Okay, cool. Jacob, how about you, man?
I think they have a why, and they keep that with them.
Yeah. All great answers. Okay, cool. Braxton, what are you thinking, man?
I'm thinking they believe, one, and then like part of what they do is not just what they do, is kind of who they are. Like they can't help but be who they are, but chase success.
Yeah.
Okay. And they're resilient too.
They believe, they're resilient. They're kind of just built that way. Like they can't. Yeah. That's just how they're built. Okay. Who else has something besides? Okay, Ms. Davis.
Discipline.
Very disciplined.
And always learning.
Always learning. Absolutely. Okay, cool. Who else has something beyond that?
Action.
Take a lot of action.
Living product.
Okay, one more time.
I was going to say production.
My bad.
Chris, you said action?
I said action and then delivering product.
Okay, go ahead and elaborate on that just a bit.
Yeah, so a product is an outcome of an action.
Yep.
Or it could also be like a person or a thing.
Yep.
And what I mean by producing product is actually completing what you seek out to do.
Yeah.
So it's not only just about taking action just to take action, but actually getting things done.
1 million. Okay, cool. And then Eric, you had something, man?
I just agreeing with Chris. He said production. I was thinking about production and like your focus being productive.
Okay, beautiful. You know what? We're just gonna go around the room. Shit, Isaiah, come on, man. People that are successful, that are not.
Yeah, I was there the other night when I first seen it, and when we talk about like the way to be successful is just show up. Like I personally like that's my number one thing. Show up. Like show up every day. That's what I do all the time. Like I don't miss no mastermind. No 4 days, nothing.
Okay, show up. Okay, Lucy, could you hear us? Kyle, Hardy, you're next. Hardy. Successful.
I was going to say mindset, which has been really important for me, getting to the right mindset so I can focus on all of this. I have my mind on 1,000 different things. Just focus on this.
Yeah, mindset. 1 million. 1 fucking million% mindset. I met Alex. You remember Matty Welsh, Josh's little brother?
Yeah. Sales guy, right? Yeah. He was doing sales for a while with like back in the day.
He was the first dude I ever brought on my team. This is
he's the MLM guy. Yeah, I remember.
MLM guy.
Yeah, I remember.
Great kid. Okay. He's not a kid no more. He's like, Matty must be 26 now, 25. But when I met him, he was like a teenager. And within I believe about 21 years old, he was making $250,000 annually, which is, if you think about it, you're talking about over $20,000 in your pocket every month, and you're like 20 years old. Like this dude's killing it. He's like a 1% of a 1% for his age bracket. So I asked him, I said, hey man, what's the difference of people that like, how come you're making it and other people don't make it? And he's like, Mike, it's all mindset. He's like, it is all fucking mindset. So we just seen the GOAT. We just seen Tom Brady just whoop like who's supposed to be build the next GOAT, Mahomes. And they're asking me, Mike, who's going to win the game? I'm like, you can't bet against Brady. I'm not worried about this and that and this. I'm like, dude, like that, the GOAT is on the damn field and he's going to find a way to win. So it's a lot mindset, right? Okay. Kyle, if you can hear me, Lucy, if you can hear me, Alex K, if you can hear me, Timothy, we want to hear from you. If you're in the background, that's fine. Okay. But we want to hear from you about mindset, or excuse me, not about mindset, but about successful people versus those that are not successful. BQ, talk to us.
I'd say it's like somebody that takes, that creates habits and takes actions towards survival. Somebody always working on themselves, personal development, like Sarah said, always continuing to learn.
100%. Always continue to learn. Okay, cool. Alex K, successful people, man.
Successful people think winning, talk winning, be winning. They work in certainty. They don't work in the I might get this done, or I hope to get this done. I'm getting this done. I'm making this 30K this week. I'm making 40K next month. They think and they be winning.
Dude, I'm glad you brought that up. It's never maybe or we'll see or fingers crossed. There's a target, there's a goal, you've established it, and it's a matter of just going after and achieving it.
He's hitting the target. So it is.
Yeah. And I'm not trying to say I'm so cool, but Chris Berry, anytime you and I have ever talked about a target, it was never, we'll see. But I'm not so far in like outer space where like my targets are just unrealistic. It's just like, okay, this is what we're going after, Sarah. This is the plan. Let's write out the program and let's just go do it. People that are successful, they don't think about maybe. Okay? They really don't. Okay, so I'm going to go over this list in just a second here. If you guys never heard this, I want you to pay very close attention on the part I'm about to go over right now. And I talk about the thermostat. Okay, all right. If you have never, has anyone ever heard me talk about like the thermostat? No? Okay, cool. You guys are going to appreciate this. Okay, so Ed Milet, big time guru guy on YouTube. He actually is the head, Alex, where Maddie's at, WFG, World Financial Group. And Maddie gave me a tape from Ed Milet before Ed Milet was on YouTube. This must have been about 6-7 years ago. And what this guy says is, I need to find out the term, but he says that all of us have inside of us a thermostat. And if you know anything about thermostats, Jacob, what they do is, let's say you set the temperature to perfect room temperature. Let's say it's 74 degrees. That's your personal preference. Let's say 74. So cold as hell during the winter, and you're like in the Northeast or the Midwest in some places, and it's too damn cold, the thermostat is going to pump warm air into the room to get the temperature to 74 degrees, right? And then let's say it's Phoenix, Arizona in the summer, and the thermostat is 74 degrees, and it's 110 out in the shade, like it happens in Arizona sometimes. The thermostat is going to pump cold air to get the temperature to 74 degrees. So the thermostat is set to make sure that your room temperature goes to the ideal room temperature. Okay, that's what a thermostat does. So what Ed Milet said, and what I believe is that all of us have a thermostat for like success, or what we want, financial freedom. Okay, so if your thermostat is, $25,000 a year, no matter what happens in your world, the most amazing opportunity lands in your lap because you're not like properly gauged. Okay, you're never going to exceed that like $25,000 a year, setting. It won't happen. It's the $1 million opportunity is going to land in your lap, and you're just not there, and you're going to go down to your level of where you're at. Okay, so I'll give you an example. I'll give you a couple different examples. Okay, we know about people that have won the lotto and that have blown their fortune. Okay, we it's kind of publicized, if and it's because there are people, they don't have the proper mindset. Generally speaking, okay, I'm being general here, but they don't have the mindset of someone that's very successful. There's other people, let's say Mark Cuban, you take away his money. Let's say GC, who I look up to, you take away his money, he's going to find a way to be successful regardless because of his thermostat. Doesn't matter if it's 20 out, doesn't matter if it's 110 out. His thermostat setting is so high that $20,000 annually cannot contain him. No matter what his circumstances are, no matter how cold, how shitty, how warm, doesn't matter. His thermostat is here. So no matter what it is, he's just going to be there. Okay. BQ, you got a thought?
Did you see him on Undercover Billionaire, where he basically started from scratch?
Yeah, I've seen 2 episodes. Exactly. Okay. And then he starts making money on the first day. He gets a free place to live. He gets a free car. He works a deal. And that's because it's his level of development is that high. So, there's a new reality show Grant's on is it Discovery Channel?
Yeah,
Discovery. They drop Grant and 2 other successful people in the middle of nowhere, small towns. One's Fresno. The other one, I believe, is like Albuquerque, New Mexico, like, little towns, cities. And they drop Grant in another town, and they give him, what is it, BQ, $1,000?
$100.
$100 and a car.
Yeah.
And on day one, he has a place to live. He has a partnership. He flips his car and has like a couple thousand. Yeah, exactly, Jacob. Because of the thermostat, right? It's nuts.
Wow.
Fucking wow. It's wow. It is insane. So let me give you some more examples about this thermostat thing. So there was a woman that Alex knows, Chris Berry knows her. She's not here to defend herself, so it's kind of not fair. But I met a woman about 1.5 years ago. Her name's Angela. She was my marketing director. When I met Angela, I had a 7-figure company. We were doing, north of $100,000 a month, which is pretty cool for a small company. When she came on, she had no people under her. I brought her on, Jacob, so she can handle our marketing, and I didn't have to do it no more because my old marketing director bounced 2 months prior. Okay. So I brought her on to do my marketing. You fast forward 3 months after that, it's like January, February 2020, and now she has like 3 associates under her. She's doing pretty good. She rose to the occasion. She's handling the biz. You fast forward 3 more months, and there's like 10 associates under her. You fast forward, 9 months later, and there's a huge fucking team. And now she's tripping and she's stumbling, and now she's making mistakes she would not normally make, elementary mistakes. She's overwhelmed. Okay, so what's the point? Angela did not grow as fast as the company, and it's really my fault. And therefore, Angela started, when I brought her on, Angela's making must have been $25 an hour. Okay. Anybody on payroll right now? Cover your ears. Some of her last checks were over $15,000. And this is a woman at 30 years old, had a little breakup with her boyfriend, had to move back in with her folks. And she joined our team. She moved out to San Diego, and she started literally making $15,000, $20,000 in a month in my little fucking company. And Chris knows her. She's such a sweet person. Chris, it's not fair to me to talk about Angela, but her stats just started driving down bad. And the way we had her comp worked out is she was given a share, and her stats were going like this, and her fucking payroll was going like this. Like the one graph went down and the other payroll graph went up. So what's the point? The point is her thermostat was good for a $60,000 paying job. Her thermostat was good for $80,000 paying job. When it came to a $250,000 paying job with all this damn responsibility, and now she had to lead up not a 6-figure a month producing company, but a 7-figure a month producing company, because she was not there development wise. Just like the thermostat, it brought her back down. She stumbled, she tripped, she never really recovered, and unfortunately, she had to move back in with her parents. It's just very unfortunate. That's not what we want. Okay, but the point being is, if you're not there when the opportunity comes, you're gonna fall back down. If you're like GC, we take away everything. You're gonna be there. You're gonna be at 74. Okay, so we set the dial to 74 in terms of your paper. It could be right now today. My thermostat is $50,000 annually. Right now today, my thermostat is $120,000 annually. Right now today, my thermostat is $1 million annually. Okay, so now the question becomes, how the hell do you raise that thermostat? You guys already know how to raise a thermostat. Alex, how do you raise a thermostat for you within?
For me, it's development, like just constantly working on the things that are either in my mind holding me back, or wherever I find, the hangups, man, the holes in the process, just getting better every time. And the biggest thing for me too, like, because look, shit's not always perfect, like shit happens, you guys. I've been through shit. Mike's been through shit. Like we're a little older than most of you guys. We've all been through some stuff, but you got to remember this, right? You're only as good as the people that you surround yourself with. So if you're not surrounded by people that are constantly doing personal development or challenging you and pushing you to be better and better and better, then you become complacent. And when you become complacent, what happens, guys?
You flatline.
You die.
You dead.
There you go, Sarah.
So you said it. How do you raise that thermostat? You do what you're doing right now. Everything that you're doing is everything I've done and everything I continue to do. First off, you get in a vehicle, you get in a group of people that are really like about progression. Okay, very forward thinkers. Okay, I know for a fact I can jump in a group on Tuesday and get around fucking positive people that want to make a difference for themselves, for their group, for their community. Thank you. I know that for a fact. How else do you raise the thermostat? You get mentors and coaches. I have mentors and coaches. I spend tens of thousands of dollars monthly in coaches. I got a coach hitting me up right now and saying, hey, he wants $2,500 in addition to what we agreed on. And I'm like, all right, cool, man. I'll give it to you Wednesday. He's like, why not today? I'm like, well, because I'm sending some other people money and I don't want to tie up my cash flow and I'm doing you a favor. And I'm not kidding you. He is messaging me this morning and he's asking for money. Nick. Okay. And he's like, I'll give you donuts. And then in return, he wants like 10 G's. The hell? And he brought donuts. I still don't give him a check yet. Could you flow your card this AM? Okay. So how else do you raise a thermostat? You read books, you attend live events, you listen to YouTube, and you go to YouTube and say morning motivation, and you work harder on yourself, Jacob, than anybody that you know, including me. I am, just a result of just going hard on myself and work on my mindset for the last 10 years. My wife, Brandon Qualls have heard me say this recently. I would say in the last year, I've went from making a living to now I'm like, fuck, man, we're like pretty much rich now. like, you know what I mean? Like it's pretty crazy. Is that noise? Okay, thanks, Jacob. And I told my wife, I'm like, it's so crazy what our lives become. It's just nuts. And she's like, well, you work harder than anybody that we know. You're the hardest worker in the city. If we didn't become this, it wouldn't make sense. Like the game would be skewed. It would be fucked. Like my wife's like, well, look what you've been doing for the last 10 years. And if we didn't become this, it would be pretty messed up. Like the matrix, there'd be kink in the damn system. You know what I mean? So that's what you should be doing, is just working hard on yourself. Remember, in the very early stages of this thing, we talk about this. You got to get that, awareness in. That's part of the mindset. And then you have to get that technical ability in, that skill set. Okay. So today I was just like, you know what? Let me go in and this just fucking inject some strength into these guys and these gals, and like, let's talk about success for a minute. Okay. So that's what I want to talk about.
Hey, Mike, can I speak to that, or ask you about that real quick?
Of course, man. Let's talk.
So one of the tactics that I heard that maybe you used in the past, and I think it kind of relates to this, but like, you remember when you were talking about your story about how I think it was about Alex even. I don't know if it was him or somebody else who kept coming down. You're like, no, you can't come down because you were living in this, like, it was okay, but it wasn't what you were saying that you were living in.
Yeah.
And you're like, you know what? I'm just going to like move to this bigger place that is way more expensive than I've ever paid. And I'm just going to do it. And then I'm just going to kind of, live into it.
Yeah.
So is that kind of a tactic that like, and I ask you, and it's relevant because can I speak completely open to you right now?
Yeah.
All you guys, I'm stepping into this deal, this guy, and I haven't had a whole lot of success with the actual closing. Like, I'm still working on it. And I'm scared shitless that I'm going to step into this and not get this guy results. Like, it scares the shit out of me. But at the same time, I know the only way that I can move forward is to just do it first.
Yeah, baby.
And then just kind of live into it.
Yeah.
And raise my thermostat that way. Like, that's the only way that I know how to do this right now, is to just do it first and then kind of like work backwards.
Yeah.
Is that kind of like because I've been working on the mindset stuff, but I'm just forcing myself to take action first and then worry about, the details later to kind of.
Yeah. I did the same thing, Chris. I did the same thing, bro. And like, for where you at, man, you've been wanting this. Just dive in and fucking do your best, man. And now just raise your thermostat and make it happen, bro. I was in the same position like a month ago, and I'm still kind of am,
You're not gonna die, Chris.
Mike, what would I say right now if we were like in the gym or hanging out?
You'd probably start screaming.
No. Hey, look, sorry, Sarah. Sorry, any other females. Lift your skirt, grab your balls, and do the damn thing.
Let's
go.
That's his fucking.
You got this, bro.
He loves to say that. He says it like once every 3 months. Funny as shit. Though. Okay, Sarah, you about to say something?
I was gonna say I call that shit like healthy uncomfortability.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you have to be uncomfortable to push yourself up to a certain type of level, right?
Yeah.
And it's gonna be hard. You're gonna be going against the grain and all the things. Right. You have to fucking do it.
It's gonna be hard, and that's that's the difference, because people don't want the pain. Like biologically, we are like, oh, fire, let me get away from it. Oh, it hurts. That can include lifting weights. That can include waking up in the morning. That can include going out on a date and worrying about rejection. The mind is like, I don't want the pain. I want survival. So the people that can go towards that good pain, let me get around some people that are making me a little uncomfortable, then that's the ones that break through. And then after a certain point, it's just, you get into a flow state, Jacob. And, I told one of my coaches, I was like, I got all the resources on the planet. I got a team of over 40. I got liquid. I got, I got a great audience of people that adore me. And now I'm going to be challenged to see how smart is this dude. Okay. Like, I already became a millionaire, but I'm like, fucking, what's the next game? Like, how do I touch more people, help more people? And then how do I get to the point where I'm like, just with my wife, and we're traveling the world and like setting up schools and education systems and helping people with fresh water. And that's the real game, and how I'm helping, animals in Africa and shit like that, So now I'm like, how smart is this dude really? Like, for real, how smart are you, Mike? And that's what I'm working on right now. Okay.
I got a question.
Experiences for students, better outcomes, and better systems. Somebody had a question?
Yeah, me.
Yeah.
You know who David Goggins is?
Yeah. I don't do too much David Goggins stuff. Chris Berry bought me a book that I'm gonna crack open soon. But
yeah, I just start. I
Yeah.
just started reading his book, and like he went through a lot of crazy stuff. But his whole idea is like, don't be easy on yourself. Like, don't sugarcoat anything. Like, if you're fat, like tell yourself you're fat. You know.
Yeah.
But I was just asking because he goes to like a lot of dark places. Even when he's running, he runs miles and miles. No music to get to that point.
Yeah.
And I was just wondering, like, do you ever get to that point where you're like going to a dark place, you know, to kind of push yourself to be better?
I go, man, I'm fucking turned, man. I'm fucking turned. I'm telling you, I'm turned the fuck up all the damn time. I'm telling you. I'm in a weird spot right now, though. I'm a weird spot right now where I can coast. And I had to like slap myself in the face, not physically, but I just had to, you know, it's the end. I'm coming out of November with a fucking $1 million, like in new production. In fact, $2 million. And like, if you guys ever watch UFC, the Conor McGregor that fought last is not the same Conor McGregor up the damn mountain. It's not the same dude. It's different when you're like $100 million in the bank, like Conor McGregor. It's different than when you're a hungry Conor McGregor. So I like, I'm in a weird fucking place where first of all, hey, I haven't done shit. Okay, I texted one of my inner circle students the other day, and I'm like, Louis, who you guys will meet, and Louis, and he's like, 2 millies. Talk about the month we had. That's something special, man. Seriously, I know I've been busy and shit, but you're the king. Just, you know, just like very endearing thing for him to say. And I said, I appreciate you, man. For real, here's the truth. I'm not even at 1% of what I'll become. Same with you. So, Braxton, to answer your question about like the mindset stuff, at the end of the month, I just like, fuck. I was like telling my wife, I was like, we're about to go to a whole different place. We're about to help way more people. We're about to make way more money. I'm going to get so much better at a CEO. I'm going to get so much better at helping, serving people. It's not even funny. So like, I got it like for like 30 seconds. I sat down. I'm like, I fucking felt like I figured it out. I lied to myself. I was like, I'm good. We're successful. We're fucking, I'm looking at which Lamborghini I'm going to get. And I literally, for fucking less than a minute, I felt that I made it. And it's not true. So I'm harder on myself than anybody could ever be. And I just had to like literally just slap myself. I didn't do it physically. I had to slap myself and said, fuck this. And I blurted it out. I just got up. I told my wife, I was like, we're going to do this, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do this, and we're going to make this happen, and we're going to help more people. And that's pretty much what happened. But it was like a dangerous place for me. I felt it. I felt a little shift. Like, man, we're good. We've already figured this out. And the truth is, this is what really happens. Okay, I'm gonna talk to you about a couple different things. Actually, I'm gonna tell you about one of the biggest things that's changed in me. But here's what happens, Jacob. People, they start to make it, and whatever they did to start making it, they stop doing that. And what you really need to do, here's the bar, is whatever helped you get to that situation, you need to do more of that. Okay, so I meet a kid named Gia, Vietnamese kid. I'm half Vietnamese, half Mexican. And you'll see him in some of the older trainings. He's a wild dude, always texting and doing business development. You'll see him in some of the old trainings. So I meet Gia and I say, hey man, what do you want to do, bro? Mike Barron, I want to make $10,000 in my first month. I'm a killer. I'm like, okay, cool, man. Let's do it. Okay. What I would recommend for you, dude, just copy what I do. Copy the funnels, copy the ads, and help trainers and gym owners. That's my bread and butter. Done. First month, kid does $10,000. Okay. He lives at home with his parents. He's never made over $2,000 working at Starbucks, like almost life-changing. Month 2, guess what? Yeah, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna work with Augustine, and I'm not doing the gyms no more. I'm gonna start working with attorneys, and then there's a huge market for people that do pressure wash. They clean trash cans, and guess what happens? I never see Gia after the 3rd month. He wanted something so bad. We did it. It worked, and he abandoned that flow. You never want to abandon that flow. You want to do whatever helped you get to that state and do more of it. So what does that mean? I've been doing 12, 14 hours for a decade. I've been intense every fucking minute for the last 10 years. Camera, no camera, Students, no students, wife, no wife. I'm just fucking really inspired. So for me to say for 1 second that I'm chill now, it's wrong. Yeah, I got to do more of what got me here. Okay. Speaking of not abandoning flows. Okay. So look, I'm going to talk to you about this, and we're going to talk about one thing that's just been the biggest difference. So here is a river. Actually, a river looks like this. Okay. It's like the Nile, and it's going here, and it's passing Giza. You might have a little lake over here, and that's a river. Okay. So when you are growing your businesses, okay, you're going to get a couple different flows. Braxton, we talked about this. First step in business, okay, that's called number 1. You want to skill up. Get the skills to pay the bills. Number 2, we call it startup. Shit, I got the skills. Let me go make that money. Number 3, we call this scale up. Shit, I'm bad. Let me go recreate myself. Let me go hire some new associates. And number 4, we call that sell up. Equity partners, maybe you sell your business, like Snapchat sold their business. So I'm between 3 and 4. I'm 3 in some businesses, 4 in other businesses. So like right here, I have an internet marketing agency that does 6 figures on average per month. And I'm not really into that business no more. I put somebody there recently. So Mark Toller is holding that down right now, Alex. And, you know, I am, where's that? Okay. So I've been here forever. I could abandon that flow and say, I don't want to work with trainers and gym owners no more. Like these guys are not just, I'm having fun talking about my closing stuff. In my internet marketing business, all I do is talk about closing anyways. I could abandon that flow and stop that stream. But as a rule, you never abandon a flow meaning like a source of income. So now I put Mark Toller there. Okay. I put Mark Toller there, and then I back up a little bit. Okay. And now that flow continues, and now I got a little flow here. Okay. Now my thing I'm loving right now is the Closer Academy. Okay. I just love sales. I love closing. I love helping sales killers. So that's a flow. Okay. And then Closer Agency. I have a Closer Agency. Brandon Qualls has helped me run it. I closed a deal over the weekend. Okay. That's another flow. Okay. I'm talking about not the program. I'm talking about actually us running our in-house Closer Agency. So that's a flow. Closer Academy is a flow. I got a flow right here with Superior Fitness. I get a paycheck from Superior Fitness every 2 weeks. And who's on that flow? Okay. I got Big Alex on that flow. Okay. And the truth is, I meet Alex for about 2 hours a week. Okay. So you never wanted to, you never want to abandon a flow. So the way you're going to be able to create all these different businesses and all these different flows is by having, you can see people on the post. Okay. Gia's like, I don't want to do the Fit Pro deal no more. If you don't want to do it, that's fine, but put somebody on that post. Okay. Does that do anything for anybody? That right there?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, cool. So let me tell you about this before the 21 ways. I'm gonna tell you about the store with Alex. And I'm gonna tell you about a conversation I had with my old business partner, Nick Pena, who's possibly the most talented guy I've ever worked with, besides Alex Friedman and Chris Berry and Brandon Qualls. Okay. So here's the story. Brandon Qualls heard me say this multiple times, but this is the one change I made that made me go to the next. Okay. So one day, about 5 years ago, me and Alex are really good friends at the time, even back then. Alex is like, Mike, I'm coming to San Diego. I want to meet the family. I'm like, not a good idea, but we're going to meet up. Well, I'll show you San Diego. No, bro, be fine, man. I'll be in and out. Just want to hug Diana. And I want to, give Juliana a big hug, my 10-year-old. I'm like, all right, my dude, just hit me up when you're in town. So Alex comes from LA to San Diego, 2-hour drive. And he's just very adamant about coming to my damn house. He just wants to come to my house. He's just so damn persistent. Okay. 21 ways to be successful. And then, he's pushing his head. I was like, dude, no. Meet me at the office. So Jacob, the truth is 5 years ago, I was on the internet and I was like doing my motivational stuff. And I was talking about being successful and being great and you can do it. but I was living in a tiny ass 1950 small apartment, and I was embarrassed. So the words that I was speaking was not like, conducive to the way I was living. So I was embarrassed 5.5 years ago, almost 6 years ago, because I'm telling Alex we're going to be great and we're going to be successful. And he comes to the crib and he's like, oh, well, okay. It just doesn't add up. Okay. So that's what happened. I ended up meeting Alex down the street or something like that. He never saw the crib. After that, after we hung out, I went home. I told my wife, this will never happen to us again. I will never, ever let that happen to me again. And the truth is, we could afford it. But what I was trying to do, what people that are not successful, what they try to do, they try to conserve. They literally try to conserve money that they don't have. But what the players know, what the producers know, that more money is lost in production not made versus money that is saved. Okay, so when you're successful, like more money is lost in a lack of production versus conservation. So I convinced my wife to move into the apartment we have now. It's almost a $4,000 apartment. It's a big apartment. People that visit us, they're like, Mike, this looks like a resort. There's like retail on the bottom, and there's palm. It's like, I think it's the nicest fucking apartment in San Diego. It's a nice place. It's expensive, right? It's luxury. It's really nice. People think it's a resort. Gage's mom visited us, who's our old sales guy. She's like, this is like a resort. Wendy visited us. This is like a resort. Okay. So we moved here. So our rent went up 3-4 times the amount. I told my wife, I said, hey, listen, we move here. I will make more money and produce more money than we've ever had, and we will save more money than we've ever had. She's like, okay, cool. You can do that? I was like, I will do that. She said, done. So we moved in, got a little uncomfortable, and we started making more money than we've ever made. So the kind of, I'm gonna tie this all up, and I'm gonna tell you a couple more stories. Jacob, it's never like this. It's Eric, it's never like I'm gonna get really good, and then I'm gonna hire an employee, and then I'm gonna get a mentor. It's a leap. It's a leap that you take, Chris Berry, from the middle class apartment to the expensive ass apartment. It's the leap that forces the growth. And what happens is, it's like you're either going to figure it out or you're going to die. Okay, so it's all the same shit. My bills right now must be shit. I'd say closer to 30 grand than it is to 20. I'm not talking about the company. Our company's way higher than that. I'm talking about to sustain my life. The cars we want, the house we want. I would say it's about $30,000 a month. It's $1,000 a day. No, fuck no. Hell no. It's more than that. It's way more than that. It's easily more than that. Okay. So I have to work 12 hours, 14 hours to sustain that and have surplus. When I lived in a little apartment, I had to work 12, 14 hours to sustain that. So it's the same damn thing. The challenges here are the same thing here. Do I want to play this game or do I want to play this game? That's it. So sometimes you have to make that jump to play that game. Okay. Should I get the chicken sandwich because it's cheaper, or should I just get the filet mignon because I deserve it? It's the same fucking thing. It's the same damn thing. The mindset is different. Okay. So Brandon Qualls heard me say this 4 times. I'm just going to tell you again. I'm going to say it just very quick though. So I talked to my old partner Nick Pena, and he was talking about counter intentions. And I told him something. I was like, "Yeah, bro, I wanted to get like this computer, man, but shit, man, it's like 4 Gs." He's like, "Mike, 4 Gs, like you why do you want to get that $2,000 computer?" I was like, "Well, shit, the other one's 4 Gs, bro. It's like 3.5 years ago." He's like, "Okay, well, let me ask you this: do you deserve that computer?" I'm like, "Which one?" He's like, "The expensive one." I was like, "Well, shit, technically, I deserve it, yeah." He's like, "Could you afford that computer?" I'm like, "I can afford it. I just don't want to do it." He's like, "Okay, if they were free, which one would you take?" Well, Nick, obviously the more expensive one. Okay. Do you work hard? Yes. Do you deserve it? Yes. Again, can you have that and want it? Yeah. He's like, anytime you drop down, that's a counterintention to who you are and what you really want to do. And he's like, dude, these billionaires are free. They're not bound by the dollar. They're bound by like what they want and what they know they can have. It's not the fucking little price tag that dictates how they move. That's how normal people operate. He's like, I'm working with coaches and mentors right now. They're looking to make me operate like a god. And he's like, Mike, I think you're a god. You should operate like a god. He's like, go get that damn computer, man. And that was the conversation. And it fucked me up. I was never the same after that one conversation. It was a 5-minute conversation. I was never the same. I was never, ever, ever the same. Here we go. So now we've all been guilty of this. All of you guys have been guilty of this. I have definitely been guilty of this. You walk into the shoe store. You walk into the retail store. You grab the tag. You look at the price. Go to Foot Locker. You get the shoe. How much is it? Ooh, shit, 180. Has anybody been guilty of that? Are you guys going to admit that? Yeah. All of us have been fucking guilty of that. Yep. We are beings with endless potential, endless genius, endless fucking ability. Elon has it. Steve Jobs has it. Sarah Davis definitely has it. But now I got to look at the damn price tag to see if I can have it or not. I'm trying to give you guys a little shift in your thinking. Okay, is money real? Yes. Am I saying go out there and just start splurging? No. But what I am saying is this little shift that I made has made all the difference. I tell a story where I go in and I see the Jordans. I see the white ones that are like 150, and I see the black ones that are 180. And it's just like by demand. More people want the black ones, so the price goes up. Historically, I'm going to go get the white ones, but I really want the black ones. And I'm going to save $30. Instead of, spending $150 on something I don't want, why don't I just spend 30 more on something that I do want, can have, and really fucking should just get? You kind of see the difference? It's a shift. Those shoes are going to be fresh for like at least 3 months. I'm going to wear them fucking hard at least for 6 months. And we're talking about $30 here. It's just the mindset. It is the fucking mindset. That is the difference. Sarah Davis, did you have a cognition? Did you have a thought?
No.
Okay. Chris Milhars, what you got?
Yeah, so I got a question and a comment about that, and I'll say the comment first.
Yep.
It sounds a lot like what Arnold was saying about, like, he was working out, and then you get to a point where you just plateau. And so what do you do, Arnold?
Exactly.
You have to now shock the muscle.
Yes, bro. That's it.
You're at a point where it's like, you can I don't know, 200, 300 pound bench press, but now you got to do 400, which you never tried before.
Yes, dude.
And like your muscles are going nuts. Like, I can't do this. But now you're putting yourself in a different, you weren't ready for it, but you said, fuck it.
Yep.
And you just do it. And then your muscles just start adapting to that extra load that you just never. So this sounds a lot like that. Then the other question that I have.
It is that.
How do you balance that with, what? I deserve these Nikes and they're $150, but I am making $1,200 a month, and if I spend the $150 on these Nikes that I deserve, now I'm asked out on my rent. So it's like, I get what you're saying, but how do you mitigate that with?
Dude, listen, there's only one Tom Brady. There's only one Michael Jordan. There's only so many billionaires. There's only so many millionaires. Like for me, if you ever did any research on Elon, he was at the point where he almost bankrupt and he put all this shit on SpaceX, and that thing just popped. And they're like, Elon, there's interviews you can watch. They're like, Elon, weren't you worried that this thing was going to fail? And he's just like, I never thought I was going to fail. You know what I mean? And he put like all his money in. I should find the clip. Okay. And so what does that mean? Man, I believe there's some people that are more capable than others. Some people have more gifts, more gems. Certain people have certain gifts. There's a guy right now, I told my wife, Alex, I don't think he's here anymore. There's a guy right here. Okay. He either has me fucking fooled or he's just a different kind of cat. Alex, the 18-year-old dude that looks like he's 40, not old, but just very mature. I was like, hey, man, there's something different about you, bro. I was like, what's your IQ? He's like, it's over 140. He's like, I'm a tad below genius. And he starts talking about how he was doing like college level courses at the age of 12. And I was telling my wife, I was like, there's this new kid in our group. This fucking dude's like a genius. It is a trip. It is just amazing. And you know, he's like, Mike, you know, I was just given a gifted brain. So there's some people that have that, but I believe we're all geniuses. We're all geniuses. But Chris Millhauser, like for you, like we want to be successful. We want to fucking be great. Dude, if a $50 meal is scary, then it's just not, you're not there yet. Like I don't want to put you in a situation that's going to jeopardize your rent or get you in trouble. But for me, I know that there is nothing but abundance. You guys heard the story that our treasury department was $7,000 away from hitting their goal. I made 2 phone calls. Boom, boom. I just grabbed it. Boom, give me 1,000. Boom, give me 7,500. Gladys, go rest. And that's what I become. You have to be able to create it. There's a video of me on YouTube, and I'm like, watch, unscripted. This dude doesn't know it. I'm about to call him right now and grab $1,000. I know Chris Berry's seen it, and I just call him and grab $1,000. You have to be able to create it. You have to create it. It's not like, let me go through the demo and let me go. It's a different kind of frequency. It's a fucking different frequency right now. If I wanted to grab $20,000 in personal production today, I can do that without question. I'm telling you.
I think what I'm hearing is the baseline is you have the confidence in here that you can generate or create whatever, and it'll come to you. I'm still working on that, to be honest.
And that's okay. And that's why you're here. And that's why we're all here. You know, just recently, last weekend, we went to go buy a new furniture set. Alex, when you see it, you're like, dude, this is dope. It's pretty expensive, relatively expensive. The chairs were, I believe, $350 a pop. Leather black chairs for our dining table. It's a pretty big dining table. And we could buy black chairs on sale for $100, or we can get the nice padded ones with the little, you know, nice backing, and it was $350. So the guy's like, these ones are on sale right here. You know, you can get the nice ones at the heads of the table for him and her, and on the little side tables, it's a big chair, so there's like 3 on each side. You can get the small ones for $100. You know, and I'm like, what do you think's better? He's like, the cushion ones are better, but if you want to go the economic route. I didn't say anything about the economic route. Okay, he said it. He's bound by the damn dollar. So he walks away. And my wife's like, what do you think? I was like, what do you think? She's like, well, you know, you know, the small ones would be kind of cool, you know, like the little black ones. And I'm like, okay, why? I already know why. She's like, I don't know about spending $350 per table. I'm like, Diana, we made like 50 G's today, and we're going to make another 50 G's by 9 a.m. tomorrow. Don't worry about that shit. She's like, you think so? I was like, don't worry about the fucking money. Just worry about what we want. You're a queen. I'm a fucking king. We're gods. Let's not worry. You think 50 cents worrying about that shit? I'm like making a big ass scene. Okay, slap my face. But that's what really happened. Long story short, we got the damn chairs. But Sarah, one's $350, one's $100 on sale. That $250 that I'm going to save is going to be gone in a matter of days or weeks. Okay, you know, we got to upgrade to this new insurance. Our fucking insurance is almost 2 G's for our family. It's expensive as fuck, in my opinion. Those chairs will be with us for at least 10 years. And everyone's going to come over and be like, those are the dopest chairs. And I'm not worried about the $150. I'm worried about the dope chairs that's going to complement this dope house. You just got to kind of just change the look. I'm going to tell you one last story of all this. Chris, what you got, man? You got something else?
I got a crazy cognition that I just wanted to add, and because maybe this might relate to some of you guys, but I just realized where this comes from. My family, maybe it's a Puerto Rican thing, but my family, it's not even that it's cheaper. You know, when you grab a deal, when you close a deal, how you feel? That's how my family is about saving money.
I know, of course, man.
Yeah, you're a sucker if you pay that, yeah, fine. But I got this deal. Yeah. Why are you gonna be stupid and pay the extra, $500 when you can go over here? They're a little cheaper and that, but So I need to get out of that mentality because it's always about how little can I pay? How can I get over on somebody? How can I cut corners? How can I, you know what I mean?
So,
like,
Chris, they're not wrong, and I'm not right. I'm just telling you how very highly successful think. They don't think in scarcity. One is how much could I conserve, and my shit is like how much could I create? How much could I produce? How much could I impact? What could I do in this lifetime? Who could I touch? Who could I affect? It's just like one's like one can I conserve. I'm doing all this crazy stuff. My life is changing. I'm looking at some Lamborghinis right now. My aunts, who are my closest people in my family, besides my wife, my daughters, they're like, Diana, if he buys that, we're gonna go over there and kick his ass. Is he out his damn mind? And I'm just trying to like they think I'm little Michael and they want to pinch me. They're not that much older than me. They're like, my Aunt Caroline's 12 years older than me. She's very pretty, young, prom queen, all that. And she's just like, I don't give a shit what you talk about on the internet. I'll kick your ass, boy. And so every time I do something like this, I show her my table, it's just met with criticism. But she's relatively successful. She has some properties and she makes a 6-figure income, but it's the same thing. Very few people operate like that, what I'm telling you.
But I see where you are and I see where they are. They're not happy. They're okay. They're, whatever. But I don't see them doing what you're doing.
Well, of course.
So obviously there is a right and a wrong in this case.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, so they're operating like upper middle class. I'm not going to be arrogant and say I am. I want to operate like a god. I want to operate like a multi-billionaire. So it's just two different outlooks. I'm moving to, if you guys know San Diego, I'm moving to Carmel Valley next to Del Mar, very affluent. And I already told my wife, I was like, and I'll be there in 6 days. I already told my wife, I was like, these fucking people are complacent. I know it. I guarantee it. I'm like, for us, this is just a stepping stone. For them, it's like an end all. And that's generally speaking, but I know people in the neighborhoods. I know people that live in Carmel Valley. So it's just a different, one's operating like a millionaire, and this other dude, okay, that says bad words with SD has is like, dude, fuck this. Let's be billionaires. Let's touch the world. It's different. It's different. It's a different like mode of operation. Okay, so let me give you the one thing now. Again, Brandon Qualls has heard the story, but I want to tell you this. I'm going to tie it up in a bow, what we're talking about. Okay. Remember, I'm sure you guys have all heard this, but it just means so much to me. We talked about the guy, Nate O'Brien. We talked about the guy that Alex knows, and he looks like Biggie, and he's dressed a Gucci down all the way from the top to the bottom. He has a Maybach and McLarens and Rolls Royce, and he has a chauffeur and everything. This is a young cat. He's younger than me. Today, he must be like 33. Big old crib and all that, and he has a big old entourage. The dude's like a rapper, but he doesn't rap. It's just crazy. It's like a character in a fucking movie, Jacob. It's like, no way. Okay, like I'm trying to get my swag up like that. Okay, where's my chauffeur? So I reached out to him and I was like, dude, you're an SD, and he's like ghetto. So I was like, I kind of like migrated towards his ass. I was like, I can hang out with him. So we became buddies, and he started hanging out at our office, and he would pop in once a week, and he would just show up, and he'd buy food and bring drinks and all that stuff, and it was like my rich buddy, internet marketer. One day we go out to lunch. We had a big day. We made like 50 grand that morning on a webinar for Fit Pros. And I'm sitting at the end of the table with him. And then I have one of my inner circle students, Van, who's at the end of the table, who's a big producer today. And then I got this little dude who's like a young, I believe like 19 years old. And there's like the rest of the staff members, 18 people, 14 people, down the table. So all the big dogs are on one side and all the juniors on the other side. Somehow, some way, this young guy got in the middle of all the big time guys. So the story goes like this. Waitress comes around, starts taking orders. She comes up to the little guy. She says, hey, what would you like? He goes, how much is the ribeye? It's $28. Oh, okay. How much is the sirloin? It's $14. I'll take the sirloin. That's what he said. So she the waitress goes off and finishes up the orders. I said, hey man, he's next to me. I said, why'd you get the sirloin? I already know the answer. One was 14, the other one was 18. I already know the damn answer. Okay, meanwhile, I'm just smashing beers during the workday. And I don't do that no more. And I said, hey, why'd you get the sirloin? He's like, well, Mike, one's 28 and the sirloin's 14. I said, okay. And I said the same shit that Nick Pena told me. I said, hey, bro, you work hard? Yes. I said, hey, man, do you feel that like God put you on this planet and says, Brandon can't have a ribeye because it's too expensive? He's like, no. I said, do you deserve it? He's like, of course. I was like, do you want it? He's like, yeah. I said, hey, man, come here. Look, the dude next to you is a multi-millionaire. Look at him. And like Nate's talking to somebody else. I was like, look at this dude. He's fucking Gucci'd out. And you're rolling with him and you're 19. I said, this dude right here, Van, I've been to his crib. This fucking guy has a Mercedes and 30 feet ceilings and he's in my inner circle and he's killing, visiting me. And it's like, me, I do okay myself. This moment, you'll never capture this. So like, don't worry about spending $14 on something that you don't want. Why don't you spend $14 more on something that you do want, can have, and will have this moment forever? You down? And if he didn't have the money, I was going to pay for it, but I wanted to see what he did. From what I remember, he like looked at his phone. He's like, okay. He waved the woman back over. He changed his order, right? 20 minutes go by, 30 minutes go by. Waitress comes out, hands out all the food, hands off his sirloin. I look at him, looks good. He's about to cut the damn thing. I'm just staring at him intently. He takes his first bite. Hey, man, how's that sirloin? Fucking best steak ever, bro. Thank you. Right? So the rich guy was listening to me saying that to him. And he's like, you know, Mike, I've never really heard anybody talk like that, dude, before. So what is the point? The point is you can have the black chairs. You can have the house. You can have the damn the ribeye. You can have the shoes that you want. You can have all that. But it's just here. But to Chris Millhauser's point, you have to be in alignment. You have to be in alignment because you can't just blatantly just start spending money on shit that's going to get you in a sticky situation. But you have to find that balance, and you know that balance. It's never going to be this. When I made big moves, it was never this. It was like, boom. All right, let me get uncomfortable again. Boom, let me get an office. All right, shit, we're going to hire some people for the first time. Let's do it. Boom. All right, Alex, let's start the gym. Boom. It was always that. And you just have to find that balance that's going to push you but not break you. Okay? And that, to me, has been literally just one of the biggest things that has changed my life. Since we're talking about this, let me just go a little bit more. So one of my coaches, Ken, I let go of Ken in December. I've kind of outgrown him. He's helped me a lot for the last year and a half. Ken Daniels. And I was like, Ken, I want to get a Lamborghini. He's like, for what? I was like, I've always wanted one. I want one. He's like, yeah, don't do that. Ken don't got no damn Lamborghini. He's never had a Lamborghini. He probably will never have a Lamborghini. So I'm taking advice from a dude that is not doing what I want to do. I talked to another guy who has a Ferrari. And I said, hey, man, I want to get a Lamborghini. He's like, for what? I was like, dude, I just want the damn car. I've always wanted it since I was a kid. And I'm at the point where, I just fucking, it's time to get a damn Lamborghini. I made a deal with my wife. He said, hey, check this out. He's like, dude, he's in Alex, your girl Jay, she's a mortgage broker.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So he's a mortgage broker. So mortgage brokers work with the real estate agents and they work with the loan officers and they broker loans basically. So that's what he does. And
they make a lot of money.
Make tons of money. So he does that.
She makes probably like $300,000 a year and works maybe like
barely
2 or 3 days a week.
Yeah, I know that about her. So this guy does that. And his office is in LA, and Alex, he has an office in Sunset. So what he does is he has his Ferrari on Sunset, and he has his Instagram call to actions. Follow, Albert. Follow, he has them on his damn car, right? And he says he gets deals every single month from people just seeing the car and saying, "Who the hell is this random?" Boom, 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 and then they see his call to action. Book here for your free X, Y, and Z consultation. He's like, dude, what people don't know is I pay $4,000 for this Ferrari monthly, and it's flowing me hundreds of thousands of dollars in deals each month. So Jacob, it's just, you see the viewpoint is just different. You kind of see what I'm saying? It's like conservation and then players play. So I'm doing the same shit. I'm gonna have all my Instagram stuff. I guarantee. It's just like a different game. And then there's a whole different game after that. And that's the money game. And that's just a whole different game. We're talking about production now. And when there's just people that are just making so much damn money, that it's just insane. It's just like the money's just working for them. That's a whole different conversation. Okay. So, I didn't get to my 21 ways. We don't have to talk about the damn 21 ways. But these are some of the biggest little shifts I've had in recent years that have really, really helped me. So now I just get what I want and I don't worry about the dollar. Okay. My wife, she's like, you like the black ones or you like the brown ones? I'm like, get them both. She's like, really? I'm like, why not? Get them both. She fucking gets them both. Same thing with me. But you can't be like a fool about it and to start spending all this damn money. You got to be in alignment, and you're just gonna hit that. You're gonna hit that flow state. You're gonna hit that flow state, and it's just coming. It's easy, and you're attracting. And our marketing director's gone. We need a new one. Oh wow, look who just came into my life. Random, but it's never random. Okay, we need a new coach. Somebody DMs me, hey Mike, I'm a CEO of a company, and I'm looking, to partner up with you, and I'm looking to do some mindset coaching with your people. Boom, and it just starts happening. So that's what I want to talk to you guys about today. How y'all feeling?
Hey, Mike.
Feeling dangerous.
Who said dangerous?
You know who it is.
Come on. Oh, CB. How about you, man? So you and I spend quite a lot of time with each other. Is this a little refresher on a lot of stuff that we've talked about in the past? But what did this do for you?
Refresher. No, absolutely. I think that just continuing to hear it over and over again is huge for me. And even I just look into the little things in my life. I'm like, damn, like there's a lot of stuff that now I'm starting to give myself more, because I've always been a person. And I think the part that I struggle with the most, my goals, I have some damn ass big goals and I'm going to do some big things.
Yeah.
The thing is though, it's like for every dollar, obviously I don't want to conserve upon myself, but I feel like, okay, when I'm looking at a plane flight to Brussels here, for example, do I need to spend $4,000 for first class, or do I spend like $1,000 for like the premium, whatever it is? Okay. Because like that $3,000 I can stick in the stock market. Yes. And that gives me another $3,000, and then I could go, so it's like it spirals down, and that's the hard part I have. Again,
it's that balance. It's that balance. Jacob, this is hard, and I can't sit here and act like I'm the shit because I got a lot of work to do. But when you really figure out this money thing, it's just digits. We could play a $10 game. We can play a $100 game. We could play a $1,000 game. We could play a $10,000 game. We could play we could play $1 million game. It's the fucking same thing, but it's just a digit. It's just a fucking digit in a computer, on a calculator. Okay, Chris Barron,
go for it.
Hold on, Alex. Yeah. So it's just a digit, but I go like this. We went to New York City. Was it last year? No, it was 2 years ago, Alex.
Yeah, 2 years ago.
I don't do a lot of vacations. Alex knows I've been on like one vacation since we've been friends for the last 7 years. And I've just been working. We went to New York, never been in New York. Went there, I was just like, damn, I am so at home right now. This is like my people here, for real. Fell in love with it instantly. Mm-hmm. And never been in New York, never put my daughter on a plane. Big deal for us, right? And my wife's like, and she's not here to defend herself either. She's like, well, we could stay here because we'll have more money to spend. And we're already pretty successful. I'm like, fuck that. Let's get the damn suite, and let's get the damn, the one with the suite with the extra room. Like, let's create an experience. Let's do it. And she's like, well, we could do that, but it's X amount per night. And I set aside this much money for this trip, and, some of the other stuff we're just gonna have to cancel out. I'm like, no, we don't have to. We can have both. It's never one or the other with successful people. It's never one or the other. If you want the white ones, I want fucking both. Okay. Why can't I have like a good marriage and good kids? Like, why not? I can. You can too. Absolutely. So Chris, we got to work towards that. But also,
absolutely,
I also know fucking successful people, dude, that are very uptight as well.
Warren Buffett. Regardless, though, I think that it's all a matter of, okay, what do you want? Like, it's not just like, okay, getting the most expensive thing just because of it. It's like, look, I'm going to have some nice stuff, but I don't feel like I need every single thing. Like, to me, like, for example, a yacht, it would be nice. I never use it though. Like I much rather have my own jet. It's crazy. It's not to be like too cocky or anything. Like to me, I'd much rather have that, you know.
Chris, but listen, it's like the ideal scene. Your ideal scene is gonna be different than mine, right? Like, you know, not everybody needs. You don't need all that shit, you know. And if you do, you could put it towards like donating to your church or helping underprivileged people. It's not just like luxuries, you know what I mean? So like, I'm just telling you kind of how I look at things and how I view things, and you know, what's helped me. It's just like just kind of shifting my mindset, and that's it's the difference.
It's funny you brought this up today because I noticed like a transition just even with my own mindset. So I have a new office manager that kind of run a lot of stuff, doing so much stuff for me. It's amazing. Like I recommend. But like I started, like you said, Gates, to get stuff off my plate. So I'm not even caring. So I literally had him like sign up for all these subscriptions for me, create accounts for me, share the password, and I didn't even care. Like I gave him my card number, like no big deal.
Right.
And I was reviewing just to go like organizing something, and I saw the bill. I was expecting like $30 for the first month, maybe $40. See a bill in my inbox like $550 for my phone for the year, because he paid for a year instead of the thing.
Oh damn.
And like honestly, let's maybe say 6 months ago, I'll be like, oh shit, no way, what the fuck? Like,
I know.
Yo, guys, you gotta like refund. Like versus now, I'm like,
it's $500.
Okay, whatever. Exactly.
But you got that balance.
Of course, it was like wow, but then I'm like, hold on, really? Like that ain't.
It's taken me many years. It's taken me many years to kind of shift, not just by words, but actually by how I operate. Alex, you're about to say something. You're next, Jacob.
I knew this already, but it clicked for me, and I think this is actually relatable to anyone because anyone can do it. Mike said something, and I don't know if you guys caught it, but it has nothing to do with how much money you're making or what you're doing right now. It was buying what you want because you know that in your head, you're already figuring out a way that you can outproduce to afford it, or figure out a way to make more money so that it doesn't matter. So I think that knowing that, if you go into things like that with the confidence that you're always going to be making more money, your already mindset is on abundance, but also, you know, you're like, fuck, $500. Okay, well, whatever. I just got to do this and I'll be at $10,000. So for me, it's like, if I want that, I just got to relate it to what I have to do to not not worry about it.
Yeah. And Alex, that's it. You want that? Okay, go produce, go create it, go help some people. And that's what you got to do, man. That's just what you have to do.
And I know a lot of successful people too who are not going to buy Lamborghinis. They're not going to do all that shit.
Yeah,
like
most people
their game, but it's because their game is different, right?
Yeah.
Their game is seeing how much money they can have in their bank. Yeah, like that's their game. They don't care about anything else. But everybody's game is different. You know what I mean? Like maybe your game is you want to open up a fucking wildlife like ranch or something and save all these animals. Like whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Everybody's game is different. You don't have like to be successful is what your game is. The end result is to you. It doesn't matter what anybody else's end result is or what they think. You know what I mean?
Good fucking point, dude. Ideal scene.
Some dudes are like, I'm a savage at hoarding fucking money, but I'm a savage at making it too. And like, that's my game.
I asked Sarah, I said, hey, you like, you know, like Louis Vuitton, Gucci? She's like, no, that's not really my thing. And that's just not her thing. And that's fucking fine. That's her ideal scene. Okay. And she's entitled to that. And then some. Okay, BQ, you're next. Jacob, you're about to say something, man?
Yeah. This is a bit more of a like abstract conceptual thing, but something that I always like to look at money as is, you know, there's a reason it's referred to as cash flow and currency.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like it's because it's meant to be viewed as water, and water does its work when it moves.
Right, man.
It does, and if you let it flow, what happens when you flow down river? It begets more and more water. It just, so yeah, I know it's a bit more of a like abstract thing, but like I love looking at money that way.
Bro, listen, there's a law of exchange. There's a law of exchange, and like the more. But you got to be in alignment. That's the problem, because you can get scammed. You can make bad investments. You're like, hell yeah, I got this Louis Vuitton backpack and these Louis Vuitton shoes. And like the landlord's like, all right, well, today's the 7th. Where the fuck is the rent? Like, and they're like, Mike said, just get what you want. It's not that. You have to get in alignment. So what I know, there's called a law of exchange. The more you outflow, the more you inflow. And that doesn't just mean money. It could be like going on there and doing some media. It could be going there and doing some DMs. It could be out there making some phone calls. It could definitely be money. So for me, I know for a fact, I am like literally putting out over $10,000 each month to like coaches and mentors. Some crazy ass stuff, like crazy ass numbers. Like gave a guy 25 G's. I haven't met him in 6 weeks because I'm just so damn busy. And then somehow, some way, like this dude introduced me to one guy that changed it. And it's just because, that alignment thing. What I know is when you're super tight and you try to hold on, you try to conserve, you're holding that flow. Like water, liquid, money, it wants to flow.
You're blocking the arteries.
Yeah, man. Mm-hmm. But you have to be in alignment. I just want to be very clear on that. You start spending.
I have a perfect example, and I'll just share a personal thing right now. So when I first got the gym, and I was telling Chris about this earlier, I was very, 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 very successful personal trainer, like making $200,000 a year as a personal trainer, which is almost fucking unheard of, right? I like 1%, top 1%. I was in a fitness business mastermind. I had an amazing coach, and there was another guy in there that was really crushing it. And he opened up his own gym, which is the gym that I have now. He decided he wanted to be a coach, and I really liked this guy, and I saw what he was doing, and I was close with him. And I was like, I would like to implement what he's doing. He's going to be a coach. I can work with him more closely. He's a new coach. He's like, I just need some clients. And I'm like, dude, if you do a year for $10,000, I'll give you $10,000 right now. So I gave him $10,000, no problem. And I had the money, it was fine. Started working with him, power to power. I wasn't really learning a whole lot, but at that time I had become very successful, and I decided I wanted to try and do online training. So I like kind of stepped back from the training a little bit, started using my resources to build my business online. I was like building funnels and running my own ads and like doing all this shit. I'm going to be an online trainer. I'm going to make all this money. I got this coach. Long story short, I bought his gym, right? I bought the fucking gym from this guy, and I was not in alignment yet. And I was like, oh, I'll spend more money and I'll make more money. So I gave this guy $110,000 for this gym, and it was supposed to be working. It wasn't working. I got taken advantage of. I didn't really know what was going on. So now I gave this dude all my money, and I've got $8,000 payments to him every month on top of the overhead of the gym, which had 3 clients, $350 on the books. It was supposed to be making enough money to put money in my pocket, enough where I could pay my bills, have an apartment, and anything off the top was going to me or to my back into paying it off. Supposed to cover the trainers, supposed to cover the rent. Like, it's in San Diego. It's a 3,300 square foot facility. This is not a cheap place. So what happened? I got fucked over. And what is the point of the story? The point of the story is, not only did I make a bad decision, so always make sure no matter what you guys do, it doesn't matter how fucking close you are to the person, that there's a contract that is being read over by someone that is not you. Because it does, emotionally, you may not see something because you want it so bad. Even Mike was like, yeah, it's a great idea. Like, let's go. You're going to be in San Diego. But the problem, I wasn't in alignment. And
but Alex,
it's not even.
He did say that damn gym was producing X amount of dollars, and it wasn't.
It was supposed to be a $400K a year gym. And there was like, I did see profit and loss statements. I don't know if they're fake or what. Like, yeah, I trusted him and signed the agreement. But in my mind, with this guy even let me live at his fucking house until I could find an apartment. Well, that didn't work out. I ended up sleeping. I don't know if any of you guys know Gage. I ended up sleeping on the floor in Gage's studio apartment for like 3 months. Then I found like a shitty fucking house with one of my friends that was a trainer from LA that came up. It was a shit house. Like, in the hood. It wasn't like hood, but it was like kind of ghetto. It was a shitty house. It was cheap.
Alex, you ain't been in the hood, bro. Come on.
Oh, get out of here, bro. So anyways, the point being is I was out of alignment, and the whole deal got all fucked up, you know? Yeah. Luckily, being like who I am, I was able to like get out of it. And then, look, when the time was right, and I was telling Chris this morning because we were talking. You guys already know that, so I'm not putting him on blast. When the time was right, like, I paid the fucking gym off. I did. I paid the dude off. I finally got to the point where it could make money. Now I got to this point where it could make money, and I had no one but me and one other trainer. So I'm doing marketing, I'm doing sales, I'm doing operations, I'm doing finance, I'm fucking training I was doing 6 sessions a day on top for classes on top of one-on-one clients. I was training all of those except for she was training 4 sessions a week, which at that number didn't matter. That was the trainer. I was burning out, right? I got my chick pregnant. I'm having a kid. I started fucking losing my mind. I gained a bunch of weight. I was like not working out. Like things were just falling apart. But
you met me, and I changed your life again. Come on, baby, let's go.
Not even that. It's not even
let's
that.
go.
Okay.
Come
so
on,
Mike needs a part. Mike needs a gym because he's blowing up as a fitness marketer. He wants to be more credible. I'm like, bro, this fucking gym is done if no one else comes in, because I literally don't have the capacity to be here at 4:30 and work until 8 o'clock at night. I got a brand new fucking baby like that's already here. Like shit is like I've already been doing this for 2 years. I can't do it anymore. But the universe knew I wasn't ready yet. I needed to learn a lesson. I was out of alignment. But when I was in alignment, Mike came along, and we could take this the wrong way and it could be negative. Mike buys half the gym from me, okay? Fucking gives me a big ass check, buys half the gym from me in February. March, the gym shut down. It's still shut down right now.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm like, fuck me. Like, what the hell? But you know what? I was in alignment. Mike and I started working together. We built Superior Fitness online. Superior Fitness is doing over 30K a month now. Logan's closing 1 deal a day. I know more than I ever did about business. I'm back in LA. I can go back and forth from here in San Diego, my dad's house. I'm back with my daughter. I'm in fucking alignment. Shit is flowing to me with abundance.
Let's go.
Like it's out of control. You know what I mean? Like I opened up my like I've always known about sales, right? But Mike pumped me up. He let me get in front of you guys. He let me get in front of the fit pros. And it's like, well, I really fucking know about sales, and I'm going to spit fire all over everybody. But the point being is I got fucking crushed because I was out of alignment. And it's like, I could blame it on the dude that I bought the gym from. I could blame it on all kinds of shit. But no, fail forward. Don't fail forward. I learned the lesson. And now that I'm in alignment, like, you know, shit is just popping off. It's just going. It keeps going, and it's fast. Like, I'm watching Superior Fitness start to do what I watched Limelight Marketing do. In 2 years from now, we're all going to be sitting here. I'm like, hey, remember that day when I was like, yo, Superior Fitness is dope. It's popping off. Well, fuck, I'm living next door to Mike, and I'm driving the Lamborghini now. So it's like, it's just the way it is.
So, you see why I love this guy right here?
Yeah.
Like,
you guys got to remember this.
We're too
too.
much.
Like,
We're too much together.
The biggest, yeah.
But he has a kinder heart than me.
That's true. But hey, look, but that's the thing, right? I need Mike's reality of like what should be given and when to cut it off, and like being more aggressive. Like that's not my strong suit, right? So what do? I plug into his power, and now I got that power. But guys, you have to remember, look, you can never, like, it doesn't matter. Some of you guys are 20 years old making $200K a year. Some of you guys are 45 years old making $700 million. It doesn't matter where you are in the process. And you got to remember this: shit goes up, shit goes down. You got to learn from the experience. But the most important thing that he's saying here, if you're not in alignment, then it won't flow. Like there's a restriction on the artery. The heart is not pumping at full capacity. You may get a little bit ahead, but then it'll fall apart again. You know what I mean? You have to go into, and I will tell you this right now. I don't care how young you are and how successful you get right away. You will fuck it up at some point. You will have a failure. And if you don't, then you'll never learn and you'll never get strong. So if it does ever come, you'll never be able to figure it out. And another thing too, Mike, can I keep talking? Is that cool?
No, you're scaring people, man. Okay, hurry up. I got one last point I want to say.
Just remember, guys, no matter what the situation, like, you're always working on yourself and moving forward. There's ups and downs. You're failing forward. 1% better every day is 365% better in 1 year. But this is a business thing that I'm now applying to my life and to coaching people. There's a process. If you keep taking the same process with you that's not working on every endeavor, then it's not going to work. And if you keep taking the same process that has a minor kink in one of the chains, and the whole process changes, but the small kink is still there, it's never going to work. So you have to have the particle floating through the process and not falling through any of the holes. When you find that out and you learn that everything is a system and a process, and you can sit down and go into it and look where the hole is and find it, that's when you start flowing like fearlessly, effortlessly through the process, and you know how to find the hole when it becomes a problem, so you can keep going, which puts you into what?
Alignment.
That's the bar. That's the bar. It's just having protocol for anything that you're going to face. Okay, so BQ, I know you have a thing. I just want to say this one last point real quick. Nobody talked about, I got 2 points. Nobody talked about this when I started asking people. Alex, when you do your speeches, you got to get in two-way comm with people. Okay.
Sorry, I just get all fucking, my bad.
It's all, we working, baby. Come on, man. We're going to get you in alignment.
I'm manic, you guys. I'm manic. I'm like a little bipolar. So when I go crazy, it's just, I call it, and it's Monday. It's manic
Okay,
Monday.
so look, check this out. One thing you guys didn't talk about, I said, hey, successful people, what is it that they do versus other people that are not successful? Successful people, here's the fucking big one. Chris Milhauser, successful people take responsibility for everything in their life.
Yep.
They take responsibility for everything in their life. Okay, I'm just going to say this real quick. Some of you guys have heard it. Last year, driving my car, nice Mercedes, dude hits me from the back. Very soft, scratches my bumper. Okay, $2,500, $3,500. One of my coaches calls me into the office. He's like, you need to come to the office right now. We need to meet. And I'm like, okay. He's like, we need to talk about that accident. And he goes to me, he says, Mike, what is in your life right now that's out of alignment that caused that accident? Remember, a dude hit me from behind. Okay. And he was asking me, what's wrong? How am I out of alignment to cause that? So that's when I knew I was dealing with the right coach. This fucking dude wants to create me like such a, turn me into such a powerful being where I can't even get hit behind. Does bad stuff happen to good people? Sure. Okay, whatever. But he's like, dude, Jay-Z's not going to get hit behind, today in a car. He's like, dude, these successful people that are just like moving at this ridiculous frequency, they're not going to get hit. So you shouldn't be getting hit. Okay. So now let's talk about alignment. That's what I want to talk to you about. So being in alignment is being in ethics. That is simple as making your bed, eating healthy foods, doing what you say, practicing what you preach. If you have a boyfriend, if you have a girlfriend, if you have a husband, if you have a wife, being a loving wife, being a loving husband. If you're a parent, being there for your children, being present for your children. That is making sure that your area is clean, your toothbrush is put back, your stuff is not all messy, your bills are paid on time. You have these positive, healthy habits. You do regular exercise. You eat regular meals. That's what alignment is. It is very tough to be successful when you're out of ethics. Okay, so this is how it works. Brandon Qualls know this. If you're working your ass off and not getting what you want, the very first thing you need to check is your ethics. Are you ethical? Do you do what you say? Are you lying to people? Are you stealing from people? You need to be ethical. Number two, you have to have technical skills. You have to have tech. If you're a dentist, you should be able to restore teeth. If you're a closer, you should be able to, close deals. If you're a CEO, you should know how to manage and operate and, put in systems. And then the third thing is admin, administration. That's how you manage groups. Okay, so you should have really good administration. When you have really, really good administration, you don't really run into problems. You out-create the problem before it happens. Alex, I'm gonna talk about you. Okay, Alex made some hire decisions over the weekend with administration out. And I'm like, Alex, you made a decision to hire somebody Friday night, and now, our Thursday night, and now Patricia needs to go scramble and try to figure out how to, get these people hired and onboarded. And they're supposed to start tomorrow morning. That's just not how we do things. It's not Alex's fault. It's my fucking fault. Okay, I didn't give Alex the administration for that side of the business. At the other side of the business, we have all the systems in play. For Superior, we don't have them all there yet. Okay, so I was like, I gave him a little play on administration. Guarantee it'll never happen again. So what's the point? The point is, if you're hustling and not getting what you want, it's number one, your ethics. Number two, it's your technical skills. And number three, it's your administration. So you got to find out where you are and not falling short. I'm thinking about some of you guys right now, and I know what areas we gotta tighten up. Okay, but the ethics is the big fucking thing, and that's what alignment is. And when you truly get in alignment, it just happens. It just flows to you. Okay, I met a really successful guy named Garen Jones, and he's killing it. He's making $200,000 a month in his pocket, and he's was signed by Ludacris. He was in Herbalife. He's like a network marketer, and I end up meeting him and getting introduced to him. I go see him speak, and then the next day my friend says, "Do you want to go to breakfast with Garen?" I'm like, "Hell yeah, I want to go to breakfast with Garen. Like, I want to see what this dude's about." We meet him. He pulls up in the G-Wagon, lime green custom, 22, 24-inch rims. Dude's just dressed to the T's. Good-looking, light-skinned brother that could sing and dance. He was, again, signed by Ludacris. Personality, just great smile. He's all fit and shit. We go eat breakfast. I bring some of my leadership members. And, of course, I sit next to Garen to get the gold. What's this dude about? Let me get the gems. Let me grab some gems this morning. So he tells me a story, Alex, and he says, Mike, I've outgrown my mentor. She knows it and I know it, and I'm at the point where I need to find a new mentor. I said, Garen, a guy like you, man, you got all the money in the world. People love you, adore you all across the world. Like, how does Garen Jones find a new mentor? How do you do that? What's your process, man? He looked at me. He put his hand on my lap. I always tell this story because I was never the same after that day. I promise you. Just like I'm getting these little lessons. And he looked at me, cold as hell, and he's really nice. He's kind of a soft-spoken guy. Mike, just keep working. It's going to happen to you. Trust me. Okay? And he looks at me with his hand on my lap. He says, Mike, I'm so in alignment right now of where I'm at in the universe that anything I want, anything I demand, it just happens for me. And that's all he said. And it gave me fucking chills because I know when he said it, he meant it. He was saying, Jacob, that his life is so in alignment. Imagine the effort it would take for Beyonce to get a partnership with CVS versus, let's say, Dylan to get a partnership with CVS. She'd make like 1 or 2 phone calls. Do you kind of see what I'm saying? So he's saying that he's so in alignment that success and abundance and everything that he's looking for just comes to him. So he puts his attention on, he needs a mentor. And he's like, Mike, I'm at the point where when I put it out, it just flows to me. And that's some next level shit. And that's what happens at the higher levels. Alex, we met that one woman, Russell Brunson's most famous inner circle member, Liz Benny. And she says anytime she gets into a situation where she's getting stops, she hooks up with one of her coaches and he cleans her up, meaning like there's some sort of out of alignment in your life. Let's get that handled. Let's get rid of it so that way you can just get into that flow state. And that's what it is, the flow state. Okay. And that's really kind of, once you get there, it's crazy. I've experienced a little bit of that. It's fucking nuts. Out the matrix. Okay. We got 1 minute, y'all, before I got my next thing. Chris, hold that for 1 second. Okay. CB, I need something. So get them this, please.
Yep.
Let's set up targets for the week.
Yep.
Okay. Set up your targets for the week. The reason why I chose to talk about this today is because of this. We are on the closer agency, and we know that this is the flow of the closer agency. We know this, and it goes from getting all your certifications done to the indoctrination to here. We have pretty much exhausted the whole damn thing. And now we're going to go back to the very beginning. So there's not a whole lot of more new lectures we're going to do. There is, but you have enough material. This is not about it's now about execution of the stuff is what it is. So I'm going to drive you back to the material that's already been laid out. And if you're not up to speed, that's fine. Let's get you up to speed. Okay. Guys, what up? It's your boy, Mike Barron. Thank you for checking out the YouTube channel. Truly appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you forget, I'm going to come to this computer right now and I'm going to close you my damn self. Let's go. I'll see you at the top, y'all.